5 years ago, almost no one had heard of it. Today, it's a household name, fentanyl.
Aquí, ¿cómo lo llaman al fentanil?
Diablito.
Porque peligroso.
Sí, un instante te muere.
In the US, fentanyl is helping drive overdose deaths to record highs.
It's wiping out a generation.
While in Mexico, it's disrupting the drug trade in ways not seen in generations. But few people understand how the cartels are getting their hands on the chemicals necessary to make fentanyl, or what the fallout will be if they continue to churn these raw ingredients into more deadly pills and powders.
¿Y el color? ¿Cómo van a batallar para venderlo?
Por esa que estás haciendo ahorita, ¿para dónde va?
O directamente a la frontera, Estados Unidos.
From Mexico's cartel country to the border and into American communities.
Whoa.
I'm going deep inside the fentanyl pipeline to see exactly how it's fueling the most devastating drug epidemic in U.S. history.
Tú sabes lo que estás haciendo aquí, que estás destruyendo, que está matando personas en Estados Unidos.
Por eso hay mucha demanda, porque está matando muchísimas personas.
In just a few years, fentanyl has become the most popular synthetic opioid on the streets, and Mexico's cartels have stepped up to supply this demand. But it's a little-known secret that the cartels can't make the drug themselves. They first need to source these potent chemicals from somewhere or someone else.
¿Podemos hablar un minuto? So they're saying that it was one of these big cargo ships that we see all around us that threw these barrels overseas. Then the fishing boat over here got a GPS location of where to pick them up. Picks them up, brings it up, and then there's a meeting point here where these guys come and pick it up and then take it off to land.
In 2015, fentanyl emerged on the black market in a big way. Potent, cheap, and readily available on the streets without a prescription. In the US, overdose rates exploded to record highs. But here in Mexico, fentanyl became a boon to the underworld economy. Which is why I've journeyed inland, to witness how the cartels transform the precursor chemicals into street-ready drugs. It's happening tonight in an underground lab, where we'll get a glimpse into the future of the Mexican drug trade.
Aquí en Sinaloa, antes era pura heroína. Ya no hay más.
De la revolución de este negocio, el cambio fue lo sintético.
Unlike heroin, cocaine, or marijuana, fentanyl doesn't need farmland, or water, or sunshine. It can all be made in an underworld lab like this, by a handful of cartel chemists.
Este producto es la base para la M30.
So you're saying just this little amount here, if you were to ingest this somehow, this amount could kill you immediately. That's how powerful this stuff is. ¿Ponemos las máscaras ahorita?
Sí, ya.
Ahorita. Okay, everybody, we should put the masks on. This is where it starts getting dangerous here.
If these chemists combine the raw materials just right, in a matter of hours, they'll have successfully completed the next step in the process, creating sellable black market fentanyl.
This is the pure fentanyl. They mixed all the liquids that come from Asia, a lot of times from China. They mix it and they make this. Look at this stuff.
Ácido clorhídrico mezclado con ácido tartárico.
I'm hoping, really, really hoping this guy knows what he's doing here.
Aquí empieza a excitarse la molécula.
I'm starting to think my team and I should get the hell out of here. Outlaw narco-chemists accidentally kill themselves all the time.
Oof, this is so nuts.
Vale, ahorita, no, dejen terminar.
Once the paste dries and the room clears of deadly fumes, I'm told it's okay to take off our masks.
Esta es la sustancia cruda base de las pastillas M30.
Now that the chemical ingredients are properly balanced, it's time to craft the fake M30 pills. Each one designed to mimic the look of Oxycontin, the most popular painkiller in America.
Tú sabes que lo que estás haciendo está matando millares de personas en Estados Unidos, ¿lo sabes?
Va marcada la M30 con una marca de nuestro cártel. Entonces, si esa mata a alguien es porque alguien adulteró esa pastilla.
The ugly truth is that fentanyl supports an incredibly lucrative underworld economy. That means jobs for cartel accountants, couriers, and chemists, and for those who undertake one of the most dangerous roles in the pipeline, prepping the drugs for the final crossing into the United States.
Esto viene siendo para matar el humo. El perro trabaja donde.
I'm watching a shadowy game of cat and mouse. In less than an hour, these drugs are headed to the most frequently crossed and one of the most heavily patrolled borders in the world. Last year, U.S. Customs and Border Protection seized more than a ton of fentanyl. And yet, these packers plan on foiling thousands of highly trained agents and billions of dollars of surveillance technology with little more than homemade ingenuity.
He has other products here. He has mustard. He has... ¿Eso qué es?
Resuelve.
Ahorita ese es igual.
Softener, laundry softener. And all this is to avoid any sort of smell.
The packers tell me they'll make $2,000 for their work tonight, $400 per package. And just like everyone I've met on this journey, they do their job, and then they pass the drugs on to the next link in the supply chain. The girl he's referring to is tonight's driver. In the trafficking world, she's called a drug mule, but I'll call her Beatrice.
¿Y hoy en la noche para dónde vas?
Voy a Los Ángeles.
¿Cómo haces a pasar?
Tomé el pasaporte americano.
Beatrice tells me she's been doing this for a year and makes $3,000 per crossing. Fentanyl trafficking convictions in the U.S. have increased by nearly 5,000% over the past 6 years. And those who are caught are almost always sentenced to prison.
She has to be super nervous, you know? She's, packing 5 kilos of fentanyl. So it's a very strange feeling because on the one hand, we've met her and you sort of don't want her to get caught, and I'm actually nervous for her. But on the other hand, she has a car packed with drugs that can kill a lot of people in the U.S.
It's complicated. I know Beatrice has a growing family to provide for. But in all my years reporting on the opioid crisis, it's the parents who lost sons and daughters to overdoses that I remember the most. And I can't help but wonder what they might think as I watch Beatrice attempt to carry a deadly shipment across the border. But this is how a majority of drugs are smuggled into the U.S., according to the DEA, through legal ports of entry on the southwest border, stashed in passenger vehicles or tractor trailers. And I'm here to witness it for myself.
She was stopped. She's being checked right now. I would say just put the cameras entirely down.
Just when I'm certain she's busted.
Oh my God. They're letting her go. Yeah, she's just going into her car and leaving. I can't believe it. They just let her go. I can't believe it.
When we contacted CBP for comment, they told us, quote, U.S. Customs and Border Protection seized over 750,000 pounds of illegal narcotics in 2019. Our officers remain relentless and are always working to stay one step ahead of the cartels. But with so much demand for drugs and so much money to be made, it's a difficult task. In recent years, there have been almost 200 drug overdose deaths in the U.S. every single day. And fentanyl is the major reason.
I think that's actually our woman with the drugs inside her car. There's a guy in an orange jumpsuit with a mask. So it looks like that's where they're doing the deal right here out in the open.
The masked men tell me they're all native Angelinos, American citizens who work directly for the Sinaloa Cartel.
Do you know what's in this packages?
I do not know.
So can you tell me more or less where they're heading?
It's Oklahoma, Texas, Atlanta, This is one of the main distribution areas that we have here.
This is very much like a hot potato where they just want to get it out as soon as possible.
Got green arcade deployment.
Never have so many people been addicted to such a deadly narcotic. Never has the need for solutions been more urgent. I worry that the fentanyl supply chain seems too big to fail. Too many people benefit. Americans will have to find a way to slow the demand, because the suppliers will always find a faster and more profitable way to deliver the goods.
New episodes of Trafficked, an 8-part docuseries with Mariana van Zeller, airs Wednesday evenings, 9, 8 Central on National Geographic.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.